Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a horror Blu-ray. It's a movie that came out 2019, I believe, and then the Blu-ray got released in the beginning of 2020. There's some issues with this. So, the first thing is this is one of the last movies from Sid Haig, Dick Miller, and there's one more person you'll probably know in the movie, Charles Fleischer. Charles Fleischer's still with us, but Dick Miller and Sid Haig are not. So this is one of their final films, and they didn't really go out with a bang. So the movie is about this crazy rabbi who's played by Sid Haig at the very beginning, who is, I believe, torturing his wife and about to sacrifice his son, something of that nature. And the cops burst in and shoot him and stop him. Now they fast forward, like, I think it's 30 or 40 years. I think it's like 30 years roughly. And there's these murders that are happening in this predominantly Jewish area. And they're calling them the Scar of David killer instead of Star of David because they're putting Star of Davids on the bodies with, slicing them up. And there's a lot of obviously Jewish type humor, and the characters are very, very stereotypical with that. I don't know how to put this in a nice way. I mean, I'm not being rude here. I know lots of Jewish people, but they have that like, oy vey, what are you talking about? Like Jewish wine? It's a joke among Jews, but there's a lot of that going on. So these killings are happening, and it starts to infiltrate this group of friends who are sort of like bad Jews. They're not practicing, they're doing things they shouldn't be doing, things of that nature. And it starts to infiltrate that group, and they're trying to figure out who's doing it, but also Charles Fleischer's character sort of very strangely puts himself in the middle of it and is trying to figure out who's doing it as well. So it's a little confusing as to why some of these characters are popping up in this movie, but they are, and they're trying to track down this killer. It ties into the Sid Haig thing at the beginning. I didn't think the story was that great. The movie was about an hour and 40, I want to say 6 minutes, and I felt like it was way too long. By the end of the movie, I just wanted the movie to end. It could have cut off a good 20 minutes and been more tolerable. The humor sort of falls flat. There's, as I said, a lot of Jewish characters and humor, and that doesn't really resonate with me. I'm not Jewish, so it didn't do much for me. The murderer is scalping the people and using their scalps as yarmulkes, which was kind of interesting. There is some gore and gratuitous nudity, which is cool if you like those kinds of things, which I do. And I'm watching the movie and I'm going, why does this girl look familiar? There's an actress in it named Luis Rosalma. I think that's her name. I'll look it up just to make sure. Luis Rosalma, yes. She plays a character named Judy. And then I looked her up and I realized a couple of years ago she was at one of these Antifa marches and she had a bottle in her hand and I think she was going to hit someone with it, and this guy from another group that was against them punched her in the face, and she got famous for him punching her in the face. I'm not going to get into the whole political thing and who was right and who was wrong. I don't really care. And they then Googled her, and she has a bunch of pornography online. Well, she's in this movie. So if you want to see her naked some more, she's in Hanukkah. So, all that being said, Charles Fleischer's character is decent. Dick Miller's character is sort of a throwaway character near the end of the movie. Sid Haig's character is primarily just in the beginning. He's creepy, he's very thin. I think he was sickly at this point, but it doesn't leave much. I don't feel like he didn't add much to the film. The other problem with this movie is I had pre-ordered this and from Best Buy because I had a buy two get one free movie thing. They kept canceling my pre-order and I wasn't sure why. They eventually canceled it and I got them to give me Night of the Demons 2 on Blu-ray instead. And I'm glad they did because the movie's not good. But secondarily, the first batches of the Blu-ray have an audio issue. So about 10 minutes into the film, all the audio is off the rest of the film by a very noticeable length. So it's not even like a split second where you don't notice it. It is mouths moving, audio coming out. So it's unwatchable because it just totally throws the film off. They have since reissued the movie with fixed discs. This is not the case. So you may be asking, well, how did you get it if you canceled your pre-order and got Night of the Demons 2 instead? My buddy had ordered it, realized he had the bad version, wrote to them, and then they sent him a fixed disc, and he didn't know what to do with this, so he gave it to me. I'm not going to keep it. I don't think it's that great of a movie to watch again. If you're Jewish and you like horror movies, you may find some more humor to it and find some of like the gratuitous sort of Jewish horror elements funny, but I thought the story was kind of a mess. I thought the characters were sort of annoying and nobody was really redeemable. Everyone was sort of trashy, sleeping with each other's girlfriends, annoying, over the top, and I just didn't really like the movie. It was pretty bad. So, if any of that sounds interesting to you, you may get a kick out of it, but I didn't. And with the audio issues on this copy, just made it really unwatchable. So by the time the hour and 40-minute mark hit, I just really wanted it to be over. It was long in the tooth. They wasted some really good talent on this film. And besides the gore and the nudity, which was good, the rest of the movie really was not. So from dreidel to the grave, Hanukkah was a bust. Let me know, guys, if you've seen Hanukkah from 2020. Hopefully, you watched the one without the crappy audio issue. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.